we've talked a bit about MiCA, where we're going, and the effects. Camille, back to you. MiCA and the MFSA, how are we preparing for this implementation? We've already discussed that. Okay, we're maybe in a pretty good place because we've been blessed or unblessed with being one of the first jurisdictions to have, let's say, a fairly equivalent framework in place. We've been playing with it for the last few years. Are we good to go? What are we doing in terms of preparing ourselves, preparing our license holders, preparing for the potential influx of applications? Where are we, and how are we dealing with this?
I wish we were good to go. That would make
Don't give out too many secrets, okay?
That would make my life a bit easier. No, we're in a good place, but there is plenty of work to be done. What we don't want is that we rest on our past achievement or past processes and lose that competitive edge. We're in a good position. If we want to maintain that leadership, let's call it this way, we need to continue. So first is from a regulatory perspective. We carried out a gap analysis, quite a thorough one, almost line by line. MiCA is close to 500 pages, so
that's a lot of lines, yeah.
So it's a lot of lines, so you can imagine the work, the one behind it, of saying, okay, VFA Act, MiCA regulation, how do we tally, what's different? Because obviously today we have licensed VFA service provider, tomorrow will be CASP. What do they need to change? I mean, just to answer that simple question. So
what do we need to change to get them there?
Of course. So that was the first that gap analysis. I think we publicly shared that we wish to become closer to MiCA and certain policy
with our current framework.
Correct, with our current framework, which is the VFA Act, VFA regulation, and the rule book. So there are certain tweaks that we can make. Obviously, those are policy decision, way above my pay grade. But we can propose, saying, hey, why don't we bridge the gap? You know, why don't we align?
Well, now there is, right. It's in force, right? There is. We know exactly what Europe is doing, and it would be rather strange not to align to what Europe is saying anyway. So because this is the benchmark now. So let's fix our little gaps.
We know there's a time limit to our own framework. I mean, it's going to end. It's going to be repealed.
So yes, this is important. Essentially, it's quite obvious, but we might as well say it here, that the minute that MiCA becomes applicable, I think 30 for caps, 30th December 2024. So that's a pretty, while we're all drinking for Happy New Year, we'll have the first application coming in. That's the minute that the what we're calling MiCA MT comes into force, becomes applicable, and that's the minute also that the VFA Act
correct
is repealed.
No year, no framework.
Completely.
25.
The timing. The timing is quite interesting.
Yes.
That would be like
a Christmas gift for all regulators.
Big bang.